What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Hope everyone is doing well. Fun times. I got some reading done today, actually, several chapters. I I know I'm beyond page 200 of, I think, 349 or some number like that. So I'm getting there, over halfway. It is a really, really good book. And for those that don't know, August 22nd, the fourth book from the John Matherson series, otherwise known as the 1 Second After series, by William Forstchen, had released. And so I'm working my way through the book. Really good book. He definitely, William Forstchen definitely does not disappoint. That's for sure. I made the comment to Jen earlier, and really he's about the only author that completely stumps me as far as like predicting what's gonna happen. A lot of the novels are kind of cliche, so it's pretty easy to figure out. This not so much, and this book here, book 4, just in and of itself, has already taken a couple of twists and turns, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, so, but there's been quite a few twists and turns, and I will say this. William Forstchen did a masterful job, and I can't think of a better word to put on it. A masterful job of bridging the gap between when he wrote book 3 and going back to the very first book, because you have to understand there's been a lot of huge changes in the world since he wrote the original. I don't even know when. Let me look it up here. 1 second. 1 second after 2009. So 2009 was when the first one came out. He has done a really good job of catching up and introducing stuff. The best way I can word it is injecting history into the story. Okay? And I'm not, I need to stop there because I don't want to spoil it for anybody that wants to read it. But he just, the word is masterful. He did a masterful job of interweaving more current events in with the, not just the story that is unlaying before you, but also a little bit of the history from before the EMP went off. So, really cool. Did a great job. Absolutely incredible job. Let's see. Trying to think if there's anything else. Not really. Like I say, I'm really fumbling getting through the book. I don't know why. It's just hard for me to just sit down and read. I don't know. I just got so much stuff going through my head and all that, so I'm going to get this book read, and I'm going to stick my nose into getting some really, really cool flight sim aircraft going. Oh, I can't wait. I've got some Jim Dandy ideas. So, I really want, and if there's somebody, which I doubt, but if you by chance, somebody makes it past this part of this particular video that happens to know how to model or at least export models, at least know what you're doing, at least a little bit, because I don't, and all I'm trying to do is change a model material, which I can do. I've got that down pat. What I need to do is be able to properly export the model and the corresponding texture files so that it will work in Flight Sim. So, if anybody happens to have those skill abilities, let me know. Because damn it, do I want a glass airplane. Like, I want every one of my aircraft, I want to have a glass version. Because, I mean, come on. How cool is that? I mean, it'd be so awesome. Anyway. And I can do it. I can do the edits. I get it looking all pretty. And I just don't know how to export it properly. So anywho, I didn't open any tabs tonight because I've got something else for you that I thought was kind of interesting. So, a little while back, I did a video and, I had some pictures that I included when I talked about it, and it was a video about, well, we had a bunch of stories going on. We had, of course, the big climate change stories going on, the COVID stories just coming out, and the talks of lockdowns. And so I sought the help of AI to come up with some photographs that I could use for a thumbnail. And you may or may not remember that. So today, I got the bright idea. Now, I'm going to go revisit Mr. AI, or Miss AI. I think it's a miss, to be real honest. Yeah, that's pretty bad, ain't it? Anyway, so I asked it, can you create me a picture using the world news events? And it came off with a few pictures. Now, the interesting thing about all of the pictures is that the words are just gibberish. I don't know. That's kind of strange. However, this is what it gave me. This is the full image that it had given me. And that's kind of scary looking. That is kind of scary looking, because what I had asked it specifically was to draw me or create me a picture of today's news events and where you see us going this week. That was the definitions that I gave it to create with. That is what it came out with. But I didn't stop there. Because once before, I had asked AI, this AI, which is done by Bing, this is different than the Chat GPT that I used before. This was one that Bing has. And I'd asked it to write me a 15-minute monologue. And it did. And I asked it, of course, to use the current day's events. Now, when I did that with ChatGPT, it couldn't pull out the day's events. It pulled out stuff from the past because, for whatever reason, its limitations wouldn't allow for it to use, the day's news. However, this DALL-E or whatever doesn't have that limitation. And so I asked it today, and try here. It says, hello, Mike. This is Bing. I'm here to help you with your request. You asked me to write you a 20-minute spoken monologue using the major news events for the day, followed with a summary of what to expect in the coming week. I'll do my best to create that for you. Please wait a moment while I generate the content. Here is the monologue I have created for you. I hope you find it useful and interesting. Okay. Well, I am just going to read right straight through this monologue as if I was actually reading it, because let me tell you what. This is impressive. This is completely impressive. And I didn't give it much input. I mean, that's literally what I told it. Did that say 20 minute? 20 minutes spoken monologue, yeah. So it did say that. I did, yeah, because I wanted it to be a little lengthy. I don't know that this is 20 minutes worth. It certainly would be 20 minutes worth and possibly more if I was showing you, pictures, video, what have you, of each individual story here, but with what we have, pretty impressive. So again, just going to do this as it's written. Hello and welcome to the Watchman News, where we bring you the latest and most important stories from around the world. I'm your host, Mike, and today we have a lot of news to cover. Let's get started. The first story we have today is about the historic peace deal between Israel and Palestine, which was signed in Washington, D.C. earlier this morning. The deal, which was brokered by U.S. President Joe Biden and his team, marks the end of a decades-long conflict that has claimed thousands of lives and displaced millions of people. The deal includes the recognition of a Palestinian state within the 1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital, as well as the normalization of diplomatic relations between Israel and several Arab countries such as Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, and Morocco. The deal also provides for a two-state solution that respects the rights and aspirations of both peoples, as well as a comprehensive security arrangement that ensures stability and cooperation in the region. Both Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett and Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas praised the deal as a historic opportunity for peace and prosperity and thanked President Biden for his leadership and vision. President Biden hailed the deal as a major breakthrough for the Middle East and the world and said that it was a result of hard work, compromise, and courage from all sides. He also said that he hoped that the deal would inspire other countries to join the Abraham Accords, which is a framework for peace and cooperation among Israel and its Arab neighbors. The second story we have today is about the devastating earthquake that hit Haiti yesterday, killing at least 1,200 people and injuring more than 5,000 others. The earthquake, which had a magnitude of 7.2, struck near the town of Les Cayes in the southwest of the country, causing widespread damage and destruction. The earthquake was followed by several aftershocks as well as a tsunami warning that was later lifted. The earthquake also triggered landslides that blocked roads and hampered rescue efforts. The Haitian government declared a state of emergency and appealed for international aid and assistance. Several countries and organizations such as the U.S., Canada, France, Germany, Mexico, Brazil, UNICEF, Red Cross, and Doctors Without Borders have pledged to send humanitarian relief and support to Haiti. Haiti is one of the poorest and most vulnerable countries in the world and has been struggling to recover from a series of crises such as the 2010 earthquake that killed more than 200,000 people, the 2016 hurricane that displaced more than 1 million people, and the 2019 political unrest that led to violence and instability, and the 2021 assassination of President Jovenel Moïse that plunged the country into chaos. Next. Maybe this is about just 20 minutes spoken. Holy cow. This is good though. It's I'll tell you what. I'm not saying I'm saying all the information is perfect, but what I'm saying is it's thorough. Even if it's bullshit, it's thorough bullshit. The third story, now listen up. The third story we have today is about the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, which has infected more than 220 million people and killed more than 4.5 million people worldwide. The pandemic continues to pose a serious threat to public health and economic recovery, especially in countries with low vaccination rates and high transmission rates. The World Health Organization has warned that the pandemic is not over yet and urged countries to increase their efforts to contain the virus and prevent new variants from emerging. The WHO has also called for more global solidarity and cooperation to ensure equitable access to vaccines and treatments for all countries. According to the WHO, only about 30% of the world's population has received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, while more than 80% of the doses have been administered in high and upper middle income countries. The WHO has also expressed concern about the emergence of a new variant of the virus, such as the Delta variant, which is more contagious and more resistant to some vaccines. The WHO has recommended that people continue to follow public health measures, such as wearing masks, social distancing, washing hands, avoiding crowds, and getting vaccinated when eligible. Blech. So yeah, again, even if it's bullshit, it gave me some thorough bullshit. I'm impressed. Hang on, coffee. I tell you what, this definitely could be 20 minutes spoken. Next time I won't tell it to be so lippy. No, I'm impressed. I really, truly am impressed. I didn't actually read all the way through this word for word until now. So, hang on, couple of minutes. The fourth story we have today is about the Taliban takeover Afghanistan, which has sparked fear and uncertainty among millions of Afghans and triggered a massive humanitarian crisis. The Taliban, which is an Islamist militant group that ruled Afghanistan from 1996 to 2001, launched a rapid and sweeping offensive across the country in the past few weeks, taking advantage of the withdrawal of U.S. and NATO troops. The Taliban captured most of the major cities and provinces, including the capital Kabul, where they entered the presidential palace and declared victory. The Taliban also seized control of the airport, where thousands of people have been trying to flee the country in a chaotic and desperate scene. The Taliban have claimed that they have changed their ways and that they will respect human rights and women's rights, as well as form an inclusive and representative government. However, many people are skeptical and fearful of the Taliban's rule, especially women, minorities, journalists, activists, and former government officials and security forces. Many people have reported cases of violence, intimidation, repression, and discrimination by the Taliban in areas under their control. The international community has condemned the Taliban's takeover and called for a peaceful and negotiated settlement of the conflict. The UN Security Council has also demanded that the Taliban respect human rights and allow safe passage for those who want to leave the country. Fun. I mean, I'm not so sure that all of these stories I would have covered without doing this, to be honest. Some of them I don't even know if they're in the headlines. Now, that earthquake story, that might be from today. That article that said yesterday. I looked it up, and there wasn't a... I thought there was a big quake today, but I don't know about yesterday. I could be wrong. Pardon me. Hang on. Alright. So, anywho. Continuing on. The fifth story we have today is about the historic flight of SpaceX's Starship rocket, which successfully reached orbit and returned to Earth yesterday. The Starship rocket, which is a reusable launch vehicle designed by Elon Musk's SpaceX company, lifted off from the Boca Chica, Texas at 9 p.m. local time, carrying a payload of 88 satellites for various customers. The rocket reached an altitude of about 550 kilometers or 340 miles and completed one orbit around the Earth in about 90 minutes. The rocket then re-entered the atmosphere and landed safely on a floating platform in the Gulf of Mexico. The flight was a major milestone for SpaceX and Musk, who have been developing the Starship rocket for years as part of their ambitious plan to colonize Mars and explore the solar system. The Starship rocket The Starship rocket is expected to be able to carry up to 100 people and 100 tons of cargo to Mars and beyond in the future. Musk congratulated his team and thanked his customers for their support on Twitter, saying that the flight was a dream come true. All right. And it did pretty good about the coming week as well. I mean, of course, it didn't predict the future, but it tells you some things that's going to be going on. So those are the top 5 stories we have for you today. Now let's take a look at what to expect in the coming week. On Monday, August 29th, U.S. President Joe Biden will host a virtual summit with leaders from Israel, Palestine, Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Morocco, and other Arab countries to discuss the implementation of the peace deal and the prospects for regional cooperation. On Tuesday, August 30th, the UN Human Rights Council will hold an emergency session on Afghanistan to address the human rights situation and humanitarian crisis in the country following the Taliban takeover. On Wednesday, August 31st, the U.S. will complete its military withdrawal from Afghanistan after 20 years of war, ending its longest foreign intervention in the history. On Thursday, September 1st, China will celebrate its National Day, marking the 74th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. President Xi Jinping will deliver a speech and oversee a military parade in Beijing. On Friday, September 2nd, Japan will hold its Liberal Democratic Party leadership election, which will determine who will succeed Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga as the leader of the ruling party and the country. Suga announced his decision not to run for re-election last week amid low approval ratings and public dissatisfaction with his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. On Saturday, September 3rd, Germany will hold its final TV debate between the 3 main candidates for chancellor ahead of the federal election on September 26th. The debate will feature Armin Laschet from the Christian Democratic Union, Olaf Scholz from the Social Democratic Party, and Annalena Baerbock from the Greens. On Sunday, September 4, Brazil will celebrate its Independence Day, commemorating its separation from Portugal in 1822. President Jair Bolsonaro is expected to lead a rally in Sao Paulo amid rising tensions with his opponents and critics over his controversial policies and statements. And then it gives a sign-off, but I am right at about 20 minutes, because I started that at 10 after, so I started reading that, so not bad. That was really, really accurate, in my opinion, for a 20-minute spoken monologue. And again, I thought it was very, very, very thorough. So, but I think they got dates screwed up, because it is Monday right now, but it's August 28th, not 29th. They did talk about that summit today. I think these days are off. But, as far as the date, I think at least today's is. So, because I'm pretty sure they had, today's Monday for one. And I had talked about that peace deal right here. So I'm pretty sure that's a done deal. And like I say, I think this earthquake was today. I think. Could be wrong. I apologize if I am. But I got an earthquake email. Well, hang on. Take a peek at my email. My trash. Let's see. Bali Sea. I don't know if that's where that is or not. 7.1. Bali Sea. I'm dreaming. Let's see. Hang on. Where's all the earthquakes? Hang on. Okay, the one that happened today, right there. So I don't know if that's the same place, because they were saying there was something, it looked pretty small yesterday, from what I saw when I searched for it. So I don't know. Madison, Ohio, wow. Yep, I don't know. I don't know this geography. So anyway, there was 7.1. Bali Sea, some it's 113 miles northeast of Gili Air, Indonesia, wherever the hell that is. So I don't know. Anywho, the only other thing I really got for you is the headlines. I didn't bring up tabs because I was going to be doing this thing. But I think it was pretty cool. I think, like I said, I think it did a really good job. I think it was very thorough. As far as trusting the information, absolutely not. I mean, come on. But, I mean, some of it's going to be fine. The information about the Taliban takeover and all that's fine. The information about the earthquake's fine. That peace deal is bothersome to me, to be honest. We'll see what happens with that, but I was certainly impressed. No doubt about that. Oh, man. Fun times. You know, I don't pay any attention to mainstream news. I really don't have any kind of a ongoing source, I guess I could say. We don't have a TV on or anything like that throughout the day, so we don't get any information, news, or anything like that in any way comes over TV. Pretty much, you know, I do all the things here on the internet. That's where I get my news. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to be getting a complete view of the news. And in fact, I would say I probably do not. I just get a little bitty segment of all of it. And I know that. I think that was kind of cool about doing that too with that AI, because it pulled up stories. You'll see, those stories really weren't in here, so you'll see. I thought that was rather impressive. So anyway, I'm just gonna get to it, run through the headlines, and make an easy night of it. So, man, I'm telling you, my back, it's both, like between my shoulders, there's a vertebrae that's out, just something horrible. And then I feel it in the same place around the front in my sternum, and there's pressure both on that vertebrae on my spine and my sternum. Plus, one of my ribs hurts like hell. No, I didn't bust a rib or anything like that. This happens. My I have stuff like that get out of place, and I have hell until I can get it back in, and I haven't been able to get it back in. Actually, it's a pretty easy solution in most cases. All I got to do is have somebody step on my back, but Jen can't stand on my back because of CPs, so just is what it is. I use a heating pad on it at night, and probably need to just throw myself off the roof or into the wall or something like that. Maybe I'll fix it. Off the roof sounds good. I'll just jump off and I'll get in I'll splay out in a laying position, right? I'll put a pillow out. It'll be okay. Let's see. Let's see. Alright, France bans Islamic dress in schools. Japanese clothing giant exits Russia, says Vitamosti. EU country to burn more coal this winter, says Bloomberg. FSB names U.S. diplomats at center of Russian informant case. $3 million to pay billions to settle lawsuits over U.S. military earplugs, says Bloomberg. I wasn't in the military, and I got tons of the stupid emails for that and for the burn pits. The West has become a victim of its own propaganda, says Austrian colonel. I would agree. China Evergrande shares plummet as trading resumes. Not good. Zelensky demands Western aid to hold elections. Kiev sends 71-year-old soldier for NATO training, says Financial Times. I mean, 71-year-old soldier for NATO training. EU ready for more expansion before 2030, says Financial Times. Hey, there's the old saying, it's never too late. Put him on that front line, and I'm pretty certain it's going to be too late. Zelensky admits he fears being abandoned by the West. Yeah, I could see why. German regional leader calls for repair of Nord Stream. Good luck with that. Ukraine will be like Israel, says Zelensky. Foreign journalist attacker arrested in Russia. Eurozone recession likely as business activity slows, says S&P. Biden too old to be effective president, says a poll. Google's debts in Russia revealed. A Ukrainian military depot hit by Navy missiles, says Russian Ministry of Defense. EU Commissioner offers reality check on Ukraine NATO bid. U.S. military believes Ukraine is wasting ammo, says Washington Post. Yeah. All of it's a waste. DeSantis jeered at shooting vigil. Let's see. Putin will go abroad in the fall, says Kremlin. Australia demands China remove curbs to return trade to normal. EU states issue Wagner ultimatum to Belarus. Top general outlines future of U.S. presence in Syria. Park rangers bust Burning Man climate protesters. Kiev and London mulling a free trade deal, report claims. Putin congratulates Modi on moon mission success. Biden to ask U.S. Congress to fund new COVID vaccine. EU summit to discuss membership of Ukraine, says McCall. A diplomat suspended from meeting with Israeli counterpart. Billionaire vows to stop Taiwan from becoming next Ukraine. Trial date set for Trump election, meddling charges. Esports Federation votes to allow Russian flag at events. Vatican clarifies Pope's praise of Russian emperors. A senior Ukrainian intelligence officer commits suicide. U.S. will be Uncle Sucker no more, says presidential contender. Regional leader tells EU applicant to join BRICS instead. Western backers permit Ukraine to attack Crimea, said Zelensky aide. Ukraine considers elections to boost Zelensky's popularity, says Al Pius. And let me guess, they're going to have a BS election and say he's the BS winner so that he's got more BS confidence? Baltic PM digs in over Russia scandal. NATO state suffers huge military hack, says media. Eminem tells U.S. presidential candidate to stop using his music. U.S. college faculty member shot dead on campus. And lastly, UK trans MP proposes sending Ukraine condoms and lubricant. What the hell? I mean, you're sending them the tanks, the F-16s, send them a bunch of rubbers and KY. Why not? Anyway, on that note, I'll leave you something to chew on. Not the purple active. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I've had enough of the news for the day. I'm going to get out of here. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. It'll probably be much more all natural, unless I get a weird hair up my butt to see what AI has to say. Anyway, I will talk to you tomorrow either way, God willing, and hope to see you then. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit, and shalom.